Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Q&A session. Um, Unfortunately, due to some logistics and time restraints, not all of our panelists were able to join us. However, we do have Mr. Greg Breen with us today. For those of you that watched the session, he teaches with Meredith, and he also did an additional session with us, which you could find in the workshop description if you want to watch his session. So we'll go ahead and get started and ask Greg a few questions. And some of our other panelists might be joining us later, so they might be coming in halfway through. But we don't have much time, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So Greg, a really popular question that we had was that should teachers earn the certifications prior to offering them in their classes? So what advice would you give about that?
Well, I don't think that that's a bad idea because of the fact that I think going into this, a lot of times you might have a misunderstanding of what this certification or what these certifications really are. And you might just think that it's an addendum to your regular curriculum, when in actuality, it's a really great program. And so I think you get a better understanding if you go through the program first and then go from there, and then be able to bring it into your classroom. I think it's better for you.
Definitely. We also had some questions about incorporating the certifications into the classes. So could you tell us a little bit more about how you incorporate the certifications in as a curriculum, the prep content, how you implement that as a curriculum?
So Meredith is the one that really does that. And what is really great about the way this works is the fact that what I said a minute ago is exactly what happened with Meredith. When she first started using it, she just thought of it as maybe possibly being, I'll do what I normally do, and then I'll just hand this off to the students and have them. But she began to realize how much material was really there and how much valuable material was there. So what she does now is that it is part of her class. So in addition to doing her hands-on floral design work with the students, she's also incorporating all of these things, and it's actually bringing a whole lot more material to the students by doing that. So not just keeping it as a second piece, like, okay, on certain days you're going to go back and you're going to be online and do that. It's like, we're going to do this, in the floral design class, and this is what you need to do. You have to be engaged in this. And so that's how she implements it. It's very popular with the students. They enjoy doing that, and it's broadened their horizons because of the fact that, a kid walking into floral design may have a really, just a really basic idea of what it is. And this brings in all the different levels of floral design.
Definitely. So Lisa and Lynn are here with us now. So welcome, guys. So Lisa, do you want to talk a little bit about how you will be using the certifications in a distance learning environment this year if needed?
Well, one of the things that I was noticing from the workshop yesterday is that y'all have paired with Google Classroom, and
Yes.
our school uses Google Classroom, and that's kind of one of the things that got us through COVID. So I will be using both of those. And I would like to start out with the certifications this year at the beginning. I kind of waited until the end of the year last year, which kind of worked out well when we went to an online platform and going to virtual, I guess, mostly virtual in the spring semester, but I really want to start it out at the beginning of the school year using those certifications, so we make sure we get those under our belt and doing more. I guess I had the kids watch the videos mostly during COVID, and then I just kind of helped, but I want to do more face-to-face teaching with them online, and if we can do it in person too. I think I'd like to do that, but just start out with the certifications at the beginning of the year would be good. Right now we're planning on doing a face-to-face type of course starting September 8th with some virtual, but in a few weeks, who knows what's going to happen. So yeah, I'll just start out with the certifications this year.
Definitely. So Lynn, Do you want to, we had a question about how teachers can get students excited about earning a certification, especially those younger students who might be a few years out from entering the workforce or even going to college. So kind of talk about how you sell a certification to a student.
I just kind of try to explain to them how it's going to be beneficial for their future. So no matter what career they're going into, the skills that they can take away from it and how that can transfer into a career, and how it also might help them in other programs or classes that they want to be able to complete in high school. I think if you incorporate the certification into the classroom, and you can teach, teach some of it hands-on and then incorporate it with what's online, I think it works really well to get them excited, because they can really see the benefit of it once they start to see how that background knowledge there is transferred into the real skills and the hands-on stuff that they get to do. They really buy in.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. So Lisa, we had a few questions for you specifically. One, how, tell us a little bit more about your choice to incorporate the Center for Financial Responsibility certification in your program.
Okay, so I know culinary arts probably isn't the obvious choice on using the financial responsibility. But like I said, when COVID hit, the oil field also started going down. And in our area, we have a large oil field industry. So different people were losing jobs, getting laid off. And even if you're going to be working in a restaurant, you still have to know how to handle your finances. And how to handle a paycheck, how to budget, how to be smart with your money, what a 401k is, what a W-2 form is, what a W-4 form is. So I think that's just a skill that every kid needs to have, no matter what CT area it is. And so that's why I chose that one. I'm pretty passionate about saving money and handling your finances in our nation. If you look at our nation's debt, I mean, how many trillions of dollars are we in debt right now? And if we can start with our kids one at a time, teaching them how to manage their finances, what are they going to do in the next few years? They're going to be the leaders that we have. So that's why I chose that one. And it's a really good one. I learned a lot from it too. So that's, a big reason why I chose it.
Definitely. We also have had several questions about the Express Employment Professionals certification. Lisa, I know you've offered certifications through Express before. Do you want to talk about your experiences by preparing your students to earn an Express certification?
Yes, that was a couple of years ago, but I really liked it because it gave them skills that they needed on their job right now. So the kids that I had, I used that with my career preparation course, and I really liked it because it gave them tools that they could use on the job. Like they left my class, they were able to use those skills on the job right then. But as far as preparing them for it, I would look over when they're taking those practice exams, as far as on each lesson, you can see which questions they missed and you can help them with that. You can go over concepts and reteach it before they take that certification test. So that's the good part about it. You can tweak how many attempts they have on each one of those assessments. I would put a threshold on that. I don't want them to take it so many different times. It could be limitless if you wanted it to, but I would limit it to the amount of attempts that they can have on that. That way, if you need to reteach a concept, you can. But like I said, it's been a couple of years since I used that one, but I did use it with my career prep courses, and it was a really good asset there. At that time, we also taught some internship courses too, and so that helped those kids on the job as being interns around the school.
Great, thank you, Lisa. I have one more question that I think we have time for. Lynn, talk about how you prepare your students for the certification exams. How much time do you feel that your students need to prepare adequately to pass the certification exam?
So each different level of class that we have is doing a different certification exam, and we kind of try to start incorporating that from the beginning of the year so that we can be ready to test hopefully by the beginning of April. That's the goal. And I'll keep feeding back. So those Green Star lessons that are in there, we'll keep using those as we kind of go throughout the course, and I can pull questions from there to help them review, incorporate those questions into the bell work, so that by the time we get to be about the middle of March, when we come back from spring break, we can do a review of a lot of the Green Star stuff during class, and they usually do pretty well on the assessments, given that we practice and they redo those Green Star tests.
Great. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have. I know there are several more questions that you guys have. I've seen several questions about the certifications that ICEV hosts. I did include a link at the beginning of this chat to our website, which will show you a catalog of the industry certifications hosted on the ICEV testing platform, as well as some other links that could be helpful to you. You will also find these links in the workshop description on the conference platform. So the same place where you watched the video and found the link to the Q&A, I will include those links there, as well as contact information for our ICEV team if you want to learn more about the certifications. Specifically, I know we had a few questions about state approval. So if you can contact us, we'll be able to give you more specific information to your state about the approval process, since it is different in all states. So Dusty has just included a chat which will include the code that you need to redeem in the CTE challenges section of the conference platform. This not only will give you credit for attending this session, but it will also earn you points for your attendee profile. So please take a minute to get that code and write it down really quick, or copy and paste it. And thank you all for joining us. Please join us for our other industry certification sessions that we'll be hosting throughout the day. Later this afternoon, we'll have sessions from our certifying agencies that we work with. So please be sure to check those out. And thank you to Greg and Lisa and Lynn for joining us today. Thank you guys.